Good evening. Welcome on in to the evening edition of From Day One. As we did in the afternoon, we're going to continue on with classics of Cits as we rock through Dominion.
Hey,
Hello, thank
hello.
you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so
Did you have enough time to read it?
I did. I would still like to state that the notice of dishonor stands, even though the complaint affidavit was provided to me a little bit late. And I do want to make a legal argument against this probable cause affidavit. I just want to ask the state a question. Where did these officers receive this information?
Your Honor, I don't believe I'm under any obligation to answer Mr. LeBron's questions.
Okay. Sir, this is how this, let me just tell you how this works so you know, okay?
Okay.
I look at this affidavit filed by the police officer, and if it appears on its face, that doesn't mean that you did, but just on its face, if it appears that you committed the crime of aggravated battery, then I find probable cause. That doesn't mean today's not your trial day.
No, I understand that completely. What I'm trying to get at is that it doesn't seem like the officers actually witnessed anything. They just say that they made contact with me at a residence, which I don't know what that has to do with the alleged incident. And then it says also that they said that that crime was actually committed, which I don't know how somebody could swear to that when they never saw it. And I believe that this complaint affidavit is mostly hearsay. So based on hearsay, if an officer swears to hearsay, does that create presumption great, or is that just one person saying something to another and then swearing to it? Because I think that's kind of that makes this complaint affidavit moot and very ambiguous, and it puts me in a state of embarrassment where I'm faced to go towards a trial with no actual facts, just presumptions and assumptions and hearsay. And to my knowledge, which is very limited, compared to yours, I would say that this is a hearsay complaint report affidavit, and where's the proof? Presumption is there, maybe not great, and I would say that this is defacing the court. To present this to the court, I think would really do a great disservice to the court. And furthermore, I would say that I know it's not my trial date or anything like that, but if I had evidence to show that this victim is actually in fact lying, and that this document that we were ready to put inside the court would be committing fraud on the court if I allowed it to go without objecting to it, what would the court feel about that? If I could be given 24 hours to actually present the court with evidence showing that the victim actually falsified a police report, and what would the court's position be on that? Because I think that this is all, hearsay, and furthermore, I could show proof that the alleged victims are lying.
Okay, here's the thing, sir. This is a non-adversarial hearing, so that means all the state has to do is present an affidavit, and or they can bring live testimony into the court, and it's just to that and that alone that I look at. So,
okay, well, I would say as my legal argument, excuse me, ma'am, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Respectfully, I would say that this case has no corpus delicti, and if the state's position is that it does have corpus delicti, then I would like the state to meet the elements of the crime right now to make their case, because I just don't think so. I don't believe that this case has corpus delicti.
Okay, sir. Well, based on, I understand your arguments, and they are noted, and that doesn't mean that you're going to be found guilty of this. You might very well be found innocent, and I appreciate your arguments. But for purposes of probable cause, the court is going to find probable cause for aggravated battery. I can tell you the one thing that I am going to do is I do it in all these aggravated battery cases, 90 out of 100.
Yes,
no
ma'am.
contact with the victim with the initials JM and WMR. That means through third parties, social media, just stay away from them, okay? So as far as bond in this case, state, what are you requesting for bond?
One moment, Your Honor.
Huh. Well,
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $15,000 bond pretrial release of the GPS. I know you said his co-defendants at 10,000. However, one, I would argue, based on the allegations, I believe Mr. LeBron's involvement is more aggravating than his co-defendants. One. Two, his criminal history. 2009, fleeing and eluding law enforcement in a DUI. 2008, delivery of cocaine, he violated probation. 2008, resisting without violence. 2005, possession of alprazolam, he was sentenced to just over 17 and a half months state prison. 2006, burglary of a structure, he received the same sentence. 2005, grand theft auto, he received the same sentence. 2004, possession of cocaine, MDMA, possession of cannabis with intent to sell, resisting with violence, battery on a law enforcement officer, violated probation, just over 17 and a half months state prison. 03, possession of alprazolam, VOP, again, just over 17 and a half months Florida State Prison. End of record, Judge.
Okay, may I say something, Your Honor?
Sure, let me just premise it on this, okay? The state is
Sure.
asking for, so I ordered the no contact order with those
Yes,
two alleged
understandable.
victims, and the state is asking for a $15,000 bond. We actually set your co-defendants at a $10,000 bond. So what is your response to that? And I'll let you say your other arguments as well, too.
Sure, absolutely. My response to that is what the state is stating is remote, and in the past, according to the Fair Debt Collection Act, I don't think that you're supposed to go past 7 years on any charge per se. So I would say that those charges when I was an adolescent are remote and in the past, and given the fact that I haven't gotten in trouble for a substantial amount of time, I would like to present that to the court. I haven't been found guilty of this allegation. And I would say that I'm a staple in the community by doing a lot of community service. I sell a lot on Amazon. I donate to my local women and children in distress. So I don't want the court to shed a light just on the allegations. I do have a positive impact on the community, and I would like the court to consider lowering my bonds, not only for the fact that I can't meet that financial obligation.
Well,
so
right
a high
now-
bond is
well, right
equivalent
now-
to no bond at all.
No, I know. Right now, there's no bond set at all. So we
Sure,
have to set a bond
understandable.
today.
Sure. Well, the 15,000, I would never be able to meet that. That's beyond
What
my
do you
financial
do? What do you do
capabilities.
for a living, sir?
I do a lot of e-commerce, so I basically buy returned items and I sell them on Amazon. I just started. My company's under a year old, so just to be fair, I'm self-sufficient. I'm my own business owner, but I'm not in a financial position to in any way, and I don't want to make it seem like I am. I'm not in a financial position to make a $15,000 bond or a $10,000 bond. I've lived here for over 20 years, so I have strong ties to the community, and I would like the court to consider possibly reducing that down substantially so that I could collect my evidence and fight my case in a competent way, because there's no way to really do that here, with all respect.
Okay. Do you rent or own, sir?
I rent.
How much money do you have in the bank? Approximately.
My bank account is overdrafted right now, so I'm negative.
Okay, how much cash do you have anywhere in the world?
I have, in my property, I have $18. I have all my money tied up in inventory, and I was supposed to sell it, so.
Are you going to be able to afford the services of your own attorney, or do you plan on representing yourself?
Well, it's a touchy situation because I hired attorneys in the past, and it was very disappointing to give them tens of thousands of dollars, and then they just want me to take a plea. So I've been disenfranchised from hiring an attorney, and I think the best bet is not me representing myself, but representing the entity of Daniel LeBron as a attorney in fact. However, the court might view that, I'm an administrator of Daniel LeBron. I'm not the actual entity. I just want to clear up the fact, okay?
Okay. All right, is there anything else you'd like to say, sir?
there's a lot I'd like to say, but I'll just keep it brief and to the point.
Well, make it sure it's not about the facts of your case, okay?
Okay, sure. If Your Honor would consider maybe some kind of a ROR or some kind of stipulation with community service so that I could give back to the community while I'm going to court. I think that the ankle monitor, for me, it's kind of like a little bit restrictive because the business that I run, I won't be able to make money. But I'll be willing to do whatever I can if you have an open mind to allow the court to, to move forward with this and so that I could have due process.
All right, here's the thing, sir. I mean, based on this probable cause affidavit, and I understand that, you object to it, it says that the alleged victim in this case suffered a laceration to the back of the head, needing 2 staples and a broken middle finger and a ring finger and causing permanent disfigurement.
Sure.
I mean, these are very, serious allegations, and I'm not saying
Sure.
you don't have a defense to them, but,
Absolutely. Well, sure. If I may, normally someone breaking their middle finger and their pinky finger, just to me, common sense would tell me they might have punched something. I don't really know, but to say that I caused permanent disfigurement, I think that's a little bit unreasonable. So that's why I'm a little bit confused with the complaint affidavit, because it doesn't really make much sense to me. And, beyond that, I have evidence showing that alleged injury with this alleged victim already pre-existed. I have evidence showing that was a pre-existing injury, so that he is now committing fraud on the court by introducing this probable cause affidavit when it's less than true. So how could anything else be relied on that he said to the officers and now the officers are swearing on today here in court? And if the court would just allow me to present that evidence, I would be more than happy to present that evidence in 24 hours so that we don't waste the court's precious time or resources on something that's frivolous.
okay, well, this is what you're going to have to do. Unfortunately, the next stop for that is you have to file a motion with your division judge. This isn't the appropriate forum to do it at this time. Do we know who his division judge is and when he's going to have a hearing?
Your Honor, I believe that this hearing is for probable cause presumption great, and I'm just trying to make a legal argument.
Presumption grade is just when you're being held no bond, sir.
Okay.
So you're not, that's not what we're doing here. That's a really high burden. So
Sure.
this is just on the face of it. Does it appear that you committed an aggravated battery causing great bodily harm or disability?
What I was trying to say is this is all hearsay.
It's Judge Shearer, Your Honor.
On a document and swear to it, and that's not really sufficient. That's just hearsay, Your Honor.
Okay, well,
So
this is what, here's the
that
thing. I understand what you're saying, sir, and you might be right, but we can rely on this information in this probable cause affidavit. And I already
I'm telling
found.
you that I have evidence showing that this information is inaccurate, and if you would let me present it to you, it doesn't need to go further than this, because if this alleged victim is not telling the truth, then why should anything else be relied on that they said?
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is in front of Judge Shear, who is your division judge.
Yes, ma'am.
So I am going to set a bond today, and I am going to put you on
Yes, ma'am.
GPS level 2. And I am going to do the same amount of bond. This is without prejudice for you to go before your division judge at $10,000. So is there any way?
Is there any way that I could get a little bit? I'm in the negative in my bank account right now. Is there any way I could do
What about
anything
friends
extra?
or family?
I don't have anybody really. This is really a terrible situation for me. So I can't afford it. So having a bond at $10,000, if I can't afford it, is equivalent to not having a bond at all.
Right, this is what let me ask you this. Why would you want to apply for the services of the public defender?
Because the public defender presents a conflict because of their relationship with the state and the way money's paid out to the Broward County court system and distributed. So in my past, I feel like there has been excuse me, stop laughing, sir. In my past, I've experienced that there's been many.
Well, no, I will not stop laughing.
Yeah, excuse me. So I've experienced many conflicts in the past and I just don't want that conflict to come over into a new case where I feel like I have to assert my rights at every step of the way. It's very important to me.
Okay, I understand, sir. All right, sir, well, unfortunately, you're gonna have to set a hearing before Judge Shear. Is there any way that somebody could call, we can call up Judge Shear and try to find out when his next court date's gonna be? Does anybody know?
There's none listed in Odyssey as of this point, Judge. All it tells me is that Judge Shear is his judge, but no court dates have been scheduled, other than this one, from what I
Okay,
can
sir,
see
so
here.
the only thing I can tell you is this: I don't control Judge Shear's calendar, and like I said, all I'm here for, sir, is to determine probable cause. I have determined it. I hear your argument, $10,000 bond, no contact, direct or indirect, with the two alleged victims, GPS level 2. You can file a motion with your division judge. I'll do this without prejudice, okay, sir?
Okay, and I'm reserving my rights without prejudice, UCC 1-308, in case I need to appeal, okay? Because I don't agree necessarily, but I respectfully, I will, move along.
Okay.
Okay?
I understand, sir. Your
All
rights
right,
are,
thank you very much for your time, and have a good evening, okay?
okay, you too, sir.
you.
Good luck.
And that is actually the bunch of classic soft sits that we have, from David Hall, of course, to the idiot in Tennessee, into this last one that we just finished. Alrighty, where are we? We'll keep the audio up here for the moment. It's getting pretty close to the end of this run anyway. Collect our daily quest items. All right, item 6 for Iris. Spear power. Do the 3, that'll complete that quest. We'll do chapter 12. Collect those. By the way, if you want to get out without getting stuck with everything, just hit the escape key on your keyboard and it'll go through without you having to click through everything. Okay, let's make sure there isn't anything else. All right, with that, we will bring this to a close here this evening, actually. On From Day One, as always, please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe. We are less than 1K to go to getting those presents from Boxy. And we'll see you tomorrow as we continue on here from Day One. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.